Good evening, I'm Camelia and you're watching KiniNews. The LCS scandal is blowing up and many questions are still left unanswered. However, the scandal was uncovered in 2019 and for starters, DAP is calling for heads to roll for failure to act sooner.
The DAP has repeated its call for the resignation of MACC chief Azam Baki and Attorney General Idrus Harun over the duo's alleged failure to act on the Littoral Combat Ships scandal. DAP National Chairperson Lim Guan Eng said both Azam and Idrus have so far only acted upon the instruction of Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob. Lim said this is despite an existing report from 2019 that uncovered the 9 billion ringgit scandal. He added that this further highlights the importance for both posts to be independent of the Prime Minister's control to avoid being misused as a political weapon. Lim said this in response to Ismail Sabri's announcement yesterday that the cabinet has proposed to declassify the report of a forensic audit on the government's procurement of 6 LCS. Ismail Sabri stressed that those responsible for the LCS scandal will not be spared, and the MACC has been asked to speed up its investigation.
We finally know why Odin's son did not get to release his movie in Malaysia. According to the Communications Ministry, Thor's latest film contained elements of LGBT, which was purportedly not in line with Malaysian values.
Marvel Studios' latest blockbuster, Thor, Love and Thunder, did not pass the country's censorship guidelines due to lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender elements. This was confirmed by Deputy Communications and Multimedia Minister Zahidi Zainul Abidin. Zahidi told Dewan Negara that the movie touched on LGBT issues and right now there are many films with LGBT elements that slip past the censorship. He was responding to a question from Senator Ahmad Yahya, who asked about the ministry's stance on monitoring the contents of programs on streaming platforms such as Netflix. Zahidi pointed out that films promoting LGBT culture are becoming more subtle with their methods. Zahidi gave the example of a TikTok user who he said was promoting LGBT. Despite that, he said the government along with the Religious Affairs Department are putting a lot of effort to curb LGBT in the country. GSC confirmed late last month that there will be no Malaysian release of the new Thor film. It was unclear at the time whether this was due to commercial reasons or pressure from censors.
43 million ringgit. That's how much a witness told the court Zahid Hamidi received from UKSB. That's just within 4 years.
The total amount of cash given by Ultra Kirana Sendirian Berhad to former Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi was 43 million ringgit. This is according to a MACC investigating officer's testimony at the High Court in Shah Alam on Wednesday. V. Mahendran said his investigation found the monthly payments between October 2014 and March 2018 were all recorded in the company's ledger. He said the ledger was prepared by former UKSB Administrative Manager David Tan using Microsoft Excel sheets on his laptop. Mahendran explained that it was aimed at recording UKSB's monthly cash deposits and withdrawals. He added that in the ledger, Tan used code names for Zahid, such as Monster, Mon, YB, Young Boy, ZH, and Z. Mahendran said this when reading his witness statement during the examination-in-chief by Deputy Public Prosecutor Zander Lim Wai Kiong. Mahendran said the ledger also contained proof of payments made to other ministers, politicians and government officers. Zahid is facing 33 charges of receiving bribes amounting to 43 million ringgit from UKSB himself. Mahendran said the monies were given to Zahid by UKSB on monthly basis, going as high as 520,000 Singapore dollars per month from July 2017 to March 2018.
A protest is being planned over the LCS scandal in Kuala Lumpur on Sunday, and they have 3 demands for the government.
A protest has been planned to highlight the Littoral Combat Ships scandal on August 14th in Kuala Lumpur. The organizers said they would make 3 demands, which are for the government to investigate the scandal, call for Defence Minister Hishamuddin Hussein's resignation, and for the government to respond to the Royal Malaysian Navy Admiral's letters. The protest is scheduled to take place at 2 p.m. at the Sogo Shopping Complex. On August 4th, the Public Accounts Committee released its report on the LCS project. Among others, the report implicated UMNO President Zahid Hamidi as the person responsible for switching the LCS design to one that was not sought by the Navy. The PAC also concluded that there were many irregularities in the project, leading to delivery delays and subcontractors not being paid. Touching on the first demand, the protest organizers called for the establishment of a Royal Commission of Inquiry to investigate the LCS scandal.
Warisan's Rosman has failed to quash a corruption case against him for the second time.
Warisan lawmaker Rosman Isli's corruption case will proceed before the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today. This is after the Kuala Lumpur High Court this morning dismissed the Lim Guan MP's second application to quash the graft case. The case is linked to his tenure as Labuan Port Authority Deputy Director 5 years ago. Rosman's counsel Muhammad Rafiq Rashid Ali confirmed that Judicial Commissioner Rose Mawar Resign denied the lawmaker's application. Today was set for a hearing of the second striking out bid before the High Court. On October 14th last year, before the Sessions Court, Rosman claimed trial to one graft charge. He was accused of using his then position as LPA Deputy Chairperson to obtain a government contract for a company in which his father and sibling allegedly have an interest.
If Najib does end up going to jail, who will replace him in Pekan? According to Utusan, the best option would be to keep it within the family.
Former Premier Najib Abdul Razak's son, Muhammad Nizar, is the best candidate to replace his father in Pekan, according to Utusan Malaysia. The article, which does not cite any sources, said Nizar was a good candidate for the parliamentary constituency in Pahang because his father and his late grandfather wielded influence in the area. The report said it is widely known that the Pekan parliamentary seat is part of Abdul Razak Hussein's legacy. However, the report speculated that Nizar might also be fielded as a BN candidate for one of 4 state seats under the Pekan parliamentary constituency. His father Najib was the Menteri Besar of Pahang from 1982 to 1986. Abdul Razak was elected as the Pekan MP in 1959 and held on to the seat until he passed on in 1976. Following a by-election, Najib was elected as the Pekan MP at the age of 23. Abdul Razak was the Prime Minister from 1970 to 1976, while Najib was the Prime Minister from 2009 until 2018. Nizar spent 18 years at Deloitte before becoming the head of the Economic and Human Capital Bureau of the Pahang Social Action Council, a state government agency. The 44-year-old is the eldest of Najib's 5 children and is the Pekan Division UMNO Youth Chief.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.